You can get all the reality TV that the networks are afraid to show here. Stop what you're doing right now if you want to be on the right side of history when the sister wives kingdom finally falls. Press the like button until it breaks, then click subscribe with the bell turned all the way up. We're following this story hour by hour, and trust me, you don't want to be the last person to find out who the mystery man is. Join the group, join the chat, and let's talk about the leak that is the base of Flagstaff shaking. We should act like detectives and look at this paper. The images have been looked at. We have looked at the metadata, and we have cross-referenced the formatting with standard event contracts used in the Mountain West area. This is where it gets interesting. The doubters are going to say it's fake. They're going to say it's a Photoshop job done by a bored fan in a closet. That doesn't make sense, though. The venue mentioned isn't some generic hotel ballroom. Even though the header is fuzzy, it fits the logo of a very specific, very private, rustic vineyard estate that is on the border between Utah and Montana. This is a spot that specializes in high private celebrity nuptials. It is the kind of place you book when you don't want paparazzi in the trees. It is the kind of place you book when you are hiding something from an ex-husband who thinks he still owns you. The date on the paper is equally telling. It's set for late fall, a time of harvest, a time of change. But if you look closely at the Brown family calendar, that date is a straight strategic strike. It lands firmly in a week that has historically been reserved for family patriarch celebrations. By booking a wedding on this exact weekend, Janelle isn't just moving on. She is overwriting the history books. She is taking a date that used to be about Kody and making it about her freedom. The most frightening detail, however, is the redaction. The heavy black ink over the groom's name. Why hide it? If this was a fake, wouldn't the forger want to put a famous name to get clicks? Wouldn't they put David Woolley's brother or some known associate? The fact that it is removed suggests a need for privacy that borders on paranoia. It says that Janelle knows exactly what Kody is capable of if he finds out a name. She knows that information is power. And for the first time in 30 years, she is starving Kody Brown of the one thing he craves more than loyalty: knowledge. We have to talk about the sincerity debate, because I know the comments are going to be wild. Why would Janelle, the logical one, the pragmatic one, the one who famously said she picks the dogs over the man, get married again? And why so secretly? You have to understand the psychology of the flight. Janelle watched Christine leave. She watched Christine do it loudly. She saw the crying in the library, the screaming on the porch, the kidney speech. Christine was the striking ram. She broke down the door. But Janelle is the spy. She is the secret operative. She saw the mess Kody made when Christine left, and she decided she wasn't going to give him the pleasure of a fight. A secret wedding fits her image perfectly. It's fast, it's quiet, and it denies Kody the chance to make a scene. If this document is real, and my sources are buzzing that the leak likely came from a vendor's helper who didn't sign an NDA fast enough, then we are looking at the ultimate betrayal in Kody's eyes. He could handle Christine leaving because he had already mentally discarded her. But Janelle was his buddy, his business partner, the one who did the taxes. If she has found someone else, someone to build a new empire with, it shows that the problem wasn't polygamy. It shows the problem was Kody. And that is a narcissistic hurt that he will never recover from. Now, let's pivot to the schedule of secrecy. Because you don't just wake up one day and book a luxury vineyard for a wedding. This has been in the works. We need to retrace our steps and look at the last 6 months of Janelle's life through a new view. Go back to her social media, scroll past the Plexus ads and the cute grandbaby pictures. Look at the background. Look at the glow. There is a condition known as the soft launch where a person starts hinting at a new partner without ever showing their face. We've seen Janelle going more. We've seen her in places that don't make sense for a single woman just wandering around. There were those trips to parts of Utah that seemed odd at the time. But now looking at the site of this venue, they look like scouting trips. They look like cake samples. There is also the physical change. We have all praised Janelle for her fitness path, for getting healthy, for hitting the gym. We assumed it was payback. We assumed it was just for her. But let's guess wildly for a second. Is there a gym guy? Is there a personal trainer who turned into a confidant? Or perhaps it's a business tycoon, someone she met while handling her independent finances? Someone who respects her brain and her accounts as much as her heart. The narrative arc here is changing. We spent years seeing Janelle as the victim of Kody's abuse, sitting in that RV on Coyote Pass while Robin sat in a heated mansion. But what if while she was in that RV, she was plotting? What if she was texting a new man while Kody was whining about the snow? This changes Janelle from a passive participant to an active player in her own fate. She hasn't just been living. She has been creating a new life right under Kody's nose. Why didn't she tell the family? This is the question that is going to tear the fans apart. Why keep it a secret from everyone? The answer lies in the news itself. The Brown family is a sieve. Information runs through that family like water through a broken dam. If Janelle had told Mary, would Mary have kept it quiet, or would she have used it as leverage to get back in Kody's good graces? If she had told the production crew, it would be a plot point in season 19 immediately. Janelle knows that Kody feeds on trouble. He metabolizes conflict. If he knew there was a wedding, he wouldn't just be sad. He would try to stop it. He would claim spiritual dominance. He would say that they are not unsealed. He would make it about contracts and celestial worlds. By saying nothing, Janelle has disarmed him. Silence is Kody Brown's kryptonite because he cannot control what he cannot hear. But there is a circle of trust. There has to be. A wedding cannot happen in a space. And this brings us to the boys. Hunter, Logan, Garrison, Gabe. These young guys have been the protectors of their mother for years. We saw the rage in Gab's eyes when Kody forgot his birthday. We saw the disillusionment in Garrison when Kody tried to apply his CO rules. It is entirely within the realm of possible. And truly, it is my favorite theory that the sons are the security detail for this operation. Imagine the scene. Janelle's son standing guard reviewing the guest list, ensuring that no one with the last name Robin gets within 10 miles of the venue. They aren't just guests, they are the builders of her safety. They want their mom to be happy. And more than that, they want her to be free from the influence of their father. If there is a secret wedding, you better believe the Brown boys are the ones walking her down the aisle. And they are doing it with a sense of pride that Kody never earned. We have to talk about the man. The secret groom redacted in black ink. Who could possibly fill the shoes left by Kody Brown? Actually, let me repeat that. Who could step over the low bar Kody Brown left on the floor? The internet is going crazy with ideas. Some say it's an old friend from high school, a rekindled love from before the polygamy days. This would fit the one that got away trope that is so popular in romance books. It would say that Janelle had a life before Kody, and she is reclaiming it. Others think it's a total stranger to the public eye, a guy who has never seen an episode of Sister Wives. And wouldn't that be the ultimate luxury to come home to a man who doesn't know what a nanny does or doesn't do? A man who doesn't care about the plan of Coyote Pass? There's a prevailing idea that he is wealthy. Not reality TV rich, but quiet generational wealth. The kind of security that Janelle, the financial pragmatist, would find incredibly attractive. Remember, Janelle worried about money for 30 years. She worried about feeding the kids. She worried about the family pot. She worried about Kody's reckless spending. A man who says, "Don't worry about the bill. I got it," is possibly the most romantic thing Janelle has ever experienced. This mystery man indicates safety. He represents a life where she doesn't have to fight for resources. And that is why Kody is scared. Kody controlled the women through resources and affection. If Janelle has found an abundance of both elsewhere, Kody's power evaporates quickly. Let's dive deeper into the soft launch idea, because the clues are actually everywhere. If you stop looking at the foreground and start looking at the background 3 months ago, Janelle shared a picture of a dinner setting. 2 plates, 2 glasses of wine. The text was generic, something about a lovely evening. But look at the hands. There was a hand on the edge of the frame holding a fork. It was a man's hand. It wasn't Kody's hand. We know Kody's hands. We've seen them moving wildly for a decade. This hand was relaxed. It was wearing a watch that wasn't flashy. It was a subtle warning to the world that she is not alone. And then, there was the trip to Nashville. Who goes to Nashville alone? It's the city of music, of romance, of bachelorette parties. Janelle was there looking beautiful, wearing a color she rarely wears. Was she meeting him there? Is he in the music industry? Is he a producer? The options are endless, and the secrecy only fuels the fire. The quiet from the rest of the family is also deafening. Usually, when a story like this pops up, you get a denial. Someone goes on a show and says, "No, that's crazy." But right now, radio silence. Christine is posting about her own life, happily ignoring the rumors. Mary is sharing cryptic quotes about truth and time as she always does. Robin is nowhere to be found. This lack of denial is in itself a proof. If it wasn't true, they would laugh it off. The fact that they aren't laughing means they are hustling. It means the Enda emails have gone out. It means the family group chat, the one Kody probably isn't in, is lighting up with messages like who leaked it and does he know? Now, let's move into the mind of the adversary. We are beginning phase 3. The reaction. This is where the story goes from a romance into a thriller. We have to recreate the moment Kody found out because he didn't find out from Janelle. He didn't get a polite call. He found out the same way we did. Or, more likely, he found out when a director from TLC called him in a panic. Picture the scene. It's a Tuesday afternoon in Flagstaff. Kody is at Robin's house surrounded by the Precious Moments figures and the boxes of unsold jewelry. He is feeling good. He thinks he has fixed the ship. He thinks that by avoiding the ex-wives, he has won the war. And then the phone rings. I'm a director. Or maybe a Google alert pings on his PC, Janelle Brown wedding setting. The blood drains from his face. You have to understand, Kody sees these women not as ex-partners, but as apostates, people who have left his church. In his mind, they are still spiritually bound to him until he says otherwise. The idea that Janelle, his intellectual equal, the one he spent hours talking business with, has gone behind his back and signed a contract with another man, it is a violation of his core belief system. It tests his manhood. It tests his priesthood. And the response, according to insiders close to the production, was explosive. The quote that is spreading, the one that the tabloids are afraid to print in full, is 3 words. I will stop this. Just let that sink in. Not I am sad, not I wish her well, but I will stop this. It is a statement of war. It is the reaction of a man who thinks he owns the property and someone is trespassing. But how does he think he can stop it? Does he think he can march into the place and object? Does he think he can sue her? This is the fantasy of a man who has been surrounded by yes women for too long. He thinks his will is law. But out in the real world, in the state of Utah or Montana, Kody Brown is just an ex-husband with a bad perm and a hurt ego. He cannot stop it. But that won't stop him from trying. And that is why this leak is so dangerous. It gives him a target. It gives him a date. It gives him a place. Before this leak, Janelle was a ghost. Now she is a dot on a map. And Kody is focused. We are getting reports of an emergency meeting called at Robin's house. A war room scene. But who is in the room? It's just Robin. Maybe a few of the older kids who are still loyal, though that list is shrinking by the day. They are sitting there studying the leak, trying to figure out if it's real, trying to figure out who the guy is. Robin is likely playing the part of the concerned sister wife. You can hear her words, can't you? I just don't want her to make a mistake, Kody. We have to save her from herself. It's gaslighting dressed up as worry. It's manipulation posing as love. Robin doesn't want Janelle to be happy. Because if Janelle is happy, it shows how miserable Robin is. If Janelle finds a guy who treats her like a queen, it exposes the fact that Kody treats Robin like a possession. They need Janelle to be the bitter, lonely spinster that fits their story. A Janelle who is a glowing bride that destroys their story. So, the emergency meeting isn't about saving Janelle, it's about saving face. It's about spin control. They are likely drafting statements, planning social media posts, maybe even considering shooting a scene where Kody looks at the camera and cries about betrayal, but the audience isn't buying it anymore. We see the strings. What happens next is a game of cat and mouse. Kody is going to try to call her. He is going to blow up her phone. He will try the angry method. You are breaking our covenant. He will try the sad method. I miss my best friend. He will try the business method. We need to talk the land on Coyote Pass before you do anything rash. And this is where Janelle's growth will be tried. Will she answer? Will she engage? Or will she look at the screen, see the name Kody flashing, and simply press the side button to stop the call? I believe she blocks him. I believe she has already blocked him. The leak of this site is not a mistake. It might even be a trick. Think about it. What if Janelle leaked it herself? What if this is a decoy? What if the real wedding is somewhere else on a different date and this document was placed to draw Kody's fire? That would be a masterstroke. That would be 4D chess. It would keep Kody busy chasing a ghost in Montana while she gets married on a beach in Mexico. It's totally possible. Janelle is smart. She knows how the media works. She knows how Kody works. Using a fake leak to distract the enemy is a classic military technique. And let's be honest, getting out of a marriage with Kody Brown is a military mission. We also have to consider the financial effects of this wedding, because in the Brown family, love and money are inextricably linked. If Janelle gets married, formally married, her assets are now commingled with a new man who likely has his own accountant, a new man who might look at the Kody past land records and say, hey, this doesn't look right. Kody fears the wedding because he fears the audit. He fears a pair of fresh eyes looking at where the family money went. For years, Janelle was the one keeping the books, but she was doing it with a mask of loyalty. She trusted Kody. A new husband won't trust Kody. A new husband will want to protect Janelle's property. This wedding is a financial threat to Robyn's lifestyle. It threatens the house. It threatens the art collection. It threatens the nanny. Kody's fear is not just about losing a wife. It's about losing a bank account. The emergency meeting at Robyn's probably involved a lot of numbers. They are trying to figure out what they owe Janelle and how to pay her off before she gets a lawyer involved. Because a married Janelle is a Janelle with help. She isn't standing alone against Kody and Robyn anymore. She has a teammate, and that changes the balance of power on Kody Pass forever. The leaked paper is more than a wedding invite. It is an eviction notice for Kody's power. Let's stop and look at the visual of the document again. The blurry text, the red circle. It feels illicit. It feels dangerous. It tells us that for these women, leaving wasn't just a breakup. It was a vacation. They had to sneak their lives out of that family one box at a time. Christine took the snowblowers. Janelle is taking her future. The difference between Kody's chaotic, manic energy and the calm, structured nature of a wedding booking is striking. A wedding is about order. It's about planning. It's about the future. Kody is stuck in the past, reliving the great days of season 1, trying to figure out where it all went wrong. He is yelling at the wind while Janelle is picking out flower arrangements. The contrast is delicious and the fans are eating it up. If you go to the forums where this leaked, the opinions are euphoric. People are planning watch parties for a wedding that hasn't even been revealed. They are offering to bake the cake. They are willing to stand guard. The crowd has adopted Janelle. She is no longer just a TV star. She is a sign of resilience. And Kody, he is the evil of the week every week. But this week, the enemy is losing. The villain is understanding that the plot armor has worn off. This document, this simple piece of paper, has revealed the lie that Kody has been selling for years. That he is the sun and the wives are the planets orbiting him. The physics have changed. Janelle has broken orbit. She is her own sun now. And Kody is just a cold, dark rock drifting into nothingness. As we move into the next part of this saga, we have to look at the alliances. Because Janelle isn't doing this alone. There is a partner. There is a co-conspirator who has been smiling in every interview, knowing exactly what was coming. Christine, you cannot tell me that Christine doesn't know. Christine and Janelle are a package deal. They are the Thelma and Louise of the poly-marriage world. Except they aren't driving off a cliff. They are driving toward freedom. Christine's hands are all over this. The style of the venue, it screams Christine's impact. The secret? That's Janelle. But the Troy? That's shared. We need to study the ex-wife's club theory. Are they double dating? Is David Woolley, Christine's husband, friends with the unknown groom? Did David meet them? That would be the ultimate twist. If Kody found out that David, the man he called a devil, was the matchmaker for Janelle, his head might actually explode. It would mean that Kody's replacement helped find Kody's other successor. It's a circle of replacement that leaves Kody totally on the outside. If David Woolley is the matchmaker, then the entire structure of the show has been turned on its head. It means the outsiders are now the insiders, and Kody is the one looking through the window. But let's go back to that emergency meeting at Robyn's house, because the details we are hearing are simply too juicy to ignore. Sources say that this wasn't just a conversation. It was a strategy session that went into the early hours of the morning. The lights were on in the McMansion all night. Kody was allegedly pacing the floor the way he does when he feels his grip slipping. He wasn't just angry. He was confused. You have to remember that in Kody's world, he is the prize. He truly cannot conceive of a world where a woman leaves him and upgrades. In his mind, leaving him is a downgrade. It's a step into the desert. So, the idea that Janelle has secured a place that costs more than his car is a mathematical impossibility in his brain. Robyn's role in this meeting cannot be underestimated. She is the whisperer. While Kody yells, Robyn reframes. She was likely spinning this not as Janelle moving on, but as Janelle acting out of trauma. "She's hurt, Kody," Robyn would say, using that soft, trembling voice she saves for the cameras. "She's doing this to hurt you. It's not real love. It's a comeback. We need to save her." Do you see the beauty of that manipulation? It supports Kody's ego. It tells him, you are still the center of her universe. She is just acting out. It prevents Kody from facing the hard fact that Janelle just doesn't care about him anymore. It keeps him connected to the delusion that he can still fix this, that he can still stop this as he claimed. But while they were planning in Flagstaff, Janelle was likely miles away, sitting in a quiet room, perhaps with a glass of wine, staring at her phone. We have to talk about the phone call that never happened, or maybe the phone call that was never returned. In the days following the leak, Kody surely reached out. His behavior is predictable. He starts with aggression, then moves to bargaining, then to pity. But Janelle has learned the art of the gray rock. This is a psychological method used to deal with narcissists. You become as boring as a gray rock. You don't move, you don't connect, you don't fight. When Kody texts, "We need to talk about the covenant." Janelle doesn't reply with a paragraph defending her decisions. She doesn't reply at all. Or maybe she sends a thumbs up sign. Can you imagine the rage that a simple thumbs up emoji would cause in Kody Brown? It is the ultimate rejection. By refusing to participate, Janelle is dismantling the dynamic that sustained their marriage for 30 years. Kody needs friction. He needs the fight to feel living. Without the fight, he has nothing. This quiet is louder than any scream. It tells him that he no longer has clearance to enter her mental space. And if the reports of a block number are true, it means Kody is shouting into the void. He is leaving voicemails that will never be heard. He is sending texts that bounce back. For a man who prides himself on being the head of the home, the realization that he has been digitally evicted from his wife's life is an ego death of catastrophic proportions. Now, let's widen the lens to the collaborator, Kody Brown, the patron saint of leaving Kody. There is absolutely no way Janelle is doing this without Kody's blessing and certainly her logistical support. Kody is the party manager. She is the one who loves love. If Janelle is getting married, Kody is the one looking at flower arrangements. She is the one eating the cake. But more importantly, Kody offers the cover. Look at Kody's social media over the last few months. It has been loud. It has been busy. Trips with David, cooking shows, family events. It has been a smoke mask. By keeping the attention on herself, she has allowed Janelle to work in the shadows. It is a perfect misdirection. The magician moves his right hand so you don't see what the left hand is doing. Kody is the right hand, dazzling us with her happiness, while Janelle, the left hand, is quietly signing marriage papers. The relationship between Kody and Janelle has evolved into a sisterhood that is far stronger than the sister wives idea ever was. They are survivors of the same war. They share a link that no one else can understand. And if there is a wedding, Kody will be the woman of honor. Not Robyn, not Mary, Kody standing there beaming, showing that there is life after Kody. The idea of the Happy Wives Club is real. They are building a new community. One where the husband is a partner, not a leader. One where love is pure, not performance-based. And the existence of this club is the biggest threat to Kody's narrative. He wants the world to believe that without him, these women are lost sheep. But they aren't lost. They are found. And they are having a better time than they ever had on Coyote Pass. Speaking of Coyote Pass, we have to follow the money, because in the end, it always comes back to the money. This wedding is a cash nuclear bomb for Kody and Robyn. If Janelle marries, the legal landscape of the family assets changes quickly. Janelle's name is on the title to that land. For years, the family ran on a handshake agreement basis. What's yours is ours, what's mine is ours. But that only works when everyone is in the group. Once you leave the group, you hire a lawyer. And a new husband means a new set of eyes on the books. Imagine a forensic accountant hired by Janelle's new rich fiancé looking through the last 10 years of Brown family finances. Imagine them asking, where did the money from the sale of Janelle's Vegas house go? Imagine them asking, why was family money used to buy art for Robin's house? Kody is scared of this. He calls it disloyalty, but the formal term is misappropriation of funds. A wedding means Janelle is formally binding herself to another entity. If she chooses to liquidate her assets to start her new life, she can force a sale of the land. She can claim her share of the family pot. And Kody doesn't have the cash to buy her out. He is land rich and cash poor. If Janelle pushes the button, the whole house of cards falls. The McMansion might have to go up for sale to pay her off. This is why he is having emergency meetings. It's not about saving her life. It's about saving his credit score. He is trying to figure out how to keep her quiet, how to keep her obedient, how to keep her from asking for what is rightfully hers. But it's too late. The space is booked, the payment is down. The train has left the stop. The social media war is another front where Kody is losing badly. We have spent hours combing through the comments on the leaked photo thread, and let me tell you, the public has spoken. The decision is unanimous. Team Janelle, the responses are savage. Janelle's revenge body is now Janelle's revenge life. Kody crying about a wedding is the karma we waited 18 seasons for. I hope she wears white is just to spite Robin. The viewers have made this into a spectator sport. They are cheering for Janelle like she is the underdog in the Super Bowl. Kody has lost control of the narrative totally. For years, he tried to paint himself as the victim of disobedient women. But the crowd has seen the tapes. They have the receipts. They know who the enemy is. This public humiliation hurts Kody more than the cash loss. He wants adoration. He wants to be the hero, to be laughed at, to be pied, to be seen as the hurdle to his wife's happiness. That destroys him. He reads the notes. We know he does. We know Robin does. They are scrolling through Reddit and Twitter, seeing the memes, seeing the mockery, and every like on a post praising Janelle feels like a dagger. The audience is essentially crowdfunding Janelle's emotional liberation by validating her choice to leave. They are telling her, you are right. He is wrong. Go be happy. That external support empowers Janelle to stand firm when Kody tries to gaslight her. She knows she isn't crazy because millions of people are telling her she's the sus person in the room. But can he actually stop it? Let's look at the truth. Legally, Kody Brown is a stranger to Janelle. They were never formally married. In the eyes of the law, she is a single woman who can marry whoever she wants, whenever she wants. His spiritual claim over her holds zero weight in a court of law or a site contract. He cannot call the vineyard and cancel the date. He cannot file an order. He has no standing. This is the flaw in his spiritual marriage plan. He avoided formal marriage to avoid alimony. But now that lack of legal paper means he has no power. He played by himself. However, the delusion of the narcissist is strong. He may truly believe he has the right to interfere. This takes us to the crash the wedding scenario. It sounds like a soap show, but with Kody, anything is possible. Would he drive to Montana? Would he show up at the gate asking to speak to Janelle? Imagine the picture. Kody in his convertible winds in his hair, pulling up to a private estate, only to be met by a wall of security. And who is that security? It's not paid muscle. It's his own kids. Garrison and Gabe standing tall, arms crossed, stopping their father from ruining their Mother's Day. You're not on the list, Dad. That statement would be the series finale to end all series finales. It would be the final end of his reign. The sons guard the mother from the father. It is Shakespearean, it is tragic, and it is perfectly plausible given the fracture in the family. Janelle knows this chance exists. That is why the address was leaked on the deep web and not People magazine. She is trying to stay one step ahead. But if he does show up, it won't be the sweet stopping the wedding moment he sees in movies. It will be a sad, desperate man being taken off the premises while the guests inside toast to the bride and groom. Now we must describe the mystery man. Who is the anti-Kody? To understand who Janelle would choose, we have to look at what she missed for 30 years. She lacked quiet. She lacked steadiness. She lacked a partner who listened more than he spoke. So we are looking for a man who is the polar opposite of Kody Brown. Kody is crazy. The new guy is calm. Kody is flashy. The new guy is modest. Kody makes everything about him. The new guy makes everything about her. We are likely looking at a man who loves the outdoors, but in a respectful way, not in a let me peel a log on my land way. A man who likes to camp in comfort. A man who respects Janelle's intellect. Janelle is smart. She reads. She thinks. Kody often rejected her ideas or talked over her. This new man likely engages her in conversation, asks for her opinion, and actually takes her advice. He is probably financially secure, perhaps retired or running his own quiet business. He doesn't need a reality show to validate his life. In fact, he probably hates the cameras. He tolerates them for her, but he has no desire to be a TV star. This is key. Janelle doesn't want another showman. She wants a husband. There is a theory circulating that he is a widower, someone who knows loss, someone who gets the preciousness of time. A man who has loved and lost is often more capable of real mature love than a man who has simply collected wives like baseball cards. If he is a widower, he and Janelle can bond over the loss of their past lives, building something new on a base of mutual understanding and respect. This emotional growth would be so foreign to Kody that he wouldn't even recognize it as love. He would call it boring, but to Janelle, boring is heaven. Boring means no excitement. Boring means peace. Let's return to the leak itself, one last time. Why now? Why did this document emerge at 3:00 a.m.? On a Tuesday? The timing is odd. It dropped right as the network was finishing the editing for the upcoming season. Is it possible that this was a strategic leak by the network to build hype, to ensure that season 19 has a plot that isn't just Robin crying? It's possible. But my gut tells me this came from the family. It feels personal. It feels like a warning shot. Whether it was Janelle firing a warning shot to say, I'm gone, or a rival group trying to expose her, the result is the same. The secret is out. The clock is running. The final decision is freedom. This document, whether it ends up being a November wedding or a December allotment, marks the final nail in the coffin of the plural marriage. Janelle was the last rock standing. Christine left, and the house shook. Mary was pushed out, and the base cracked. But Janelle, when Janelle goes, the roof collapses. She was the logic. She was the glue. Without her, there is no sister wives. There is just couple with exes. Janelle isn't just booking a space. She is planning her freedom. She is reclaiming her identity. She is changing her name. Think about that. Dropping the name Brown. It's a loss of skin. Kody isn't screaming because he loves her. He is screaming because he is finally alone. He is screaming because the mirror he used to look into to see his own greatness has been broken. He looks around and sees only Robin. And that reflection is no longer enough to support his massive ego. So, here is the question I leave you with today. Do you think Kody will actually try to crash the wedding? Do you think he has the gall to show up uninvited? And who do you think the secret groom is? Is it a new man, an old friend, or is David Woolley expanding his circle? I want to see your ideas in the comments. I read every single one of them. We are building the ultimate dossier on this unknown man, and I need your help. And listen, if you want to see the first shot of the groom, the second it drops, and trust me, it will drop. You need to make sure you are subscribed. You need to have that bell icon turned on. We are on Wedding Watch 24/7. We have alerts set up. We have sources watching the airports in Utah and Montana. When that shot hits, we will be live. We will be taking it down pixel by pixel. Do not be the person who hears about it at work the next day. Be the person who knows first. The paper is out. The date is set. The king has lost his queen, and the checkmate is coming. I'll see you in the comments. Stay harmful, stay tuned, and remember, the truth always comes out in the pictures. This is Coco Gossip signing off.